Hello, can you hear me? I feel like we found out why the comment section is turned off because we set the playlist up when we schedule the live stream. And that's why it just happened to be that way. That it somehow the setting is changed by the bot and you cannot comment it. And I'm like, okay. Now that we found it, I eventually by the end of the month would by then would include the videos in the playlist. So that's part of my work. So that's okay. So I don't need to worry about if you can or cannot reply under the video. So yeah, that's one of the things. And today's we are going to talk about something that is really profound that I know that is something I don't need help. I don't need support in this, but I figured it out that over the times I found evidence, proof, and things that supposedly say something along the line, I am important. I don't need you to tell me that I am important, but I found that my existence, my knowledge, the things that I have in me is important for you to know. So this is one of the, if I dare say, is the purpose of me being here. Because I'm, with the power that I have, with the awareness that I have, with the reality that I belong, I'm actually, you kind of can see that I don't wear pants because it's fucking hot. That's why like I turn the fan really on, like the maximum level because it's just freaking hot in my room. And we can do outside, but at 4 p.m. it's not like it's not like in the early June where there are some clouds, some shade, because the usual stream space is, what do you call it? Burn with the sunlight. And I cannot sit there. And I don't know why the trees somehow feel small, blur. The tree that shade the space that I'm at, that I stream on, is actually really low somehow. So we cannot do it there. And if we are going to do it there, the space, by the time that there's some shade, it will already be like 5:30, and we only have like 30 minutes and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to be hurried. And even now I promised to actually stream around 2 or 3 p.m., but apparently we just started working by 2, so we are having something else going on, and then we are here. So yeah. So, and today I found another evidence around I am important. What I know is important because I found a differentness of how I deliver my information with this person. So the girl's name is Cassie Howard. So she is a sales coach or a business coach, I don't know. But she is somewhere around that realm, around the business practicality and the mindset and all, the processes and all. While me as on a personal development, the journey, the healing, the shadow, and all that stuff. So the differentness exists. My way is more in touch, is more personal, is more like, what do you see? What do you got? Okay, we can work it this way if you see it this way. If you can, we can work it this way if you see it this way. And she unable to deliver that part, partly because it is not one-on-one, it is a master class, or so this is a possibility. I don't point on this is why, So I don't really know, because I don't really know her that deep to actually point it out, oh, this is how we are different. I just know that somehow how she deliver her stuff is way different than mine. If I were in her place, I would deliver it in my way, which is like step by step. What do you see? What do you have? How do we want to work it out? What is the universal foundational belief? What is the foundational truth of everything, spiritually, universally, personally? So there are multiple layers that we can go with. And if you are entering a master class, if you're entering a program, it was already set into one point. That's the problem. That's why like one-on-one space, like in-person space too, is a lot more detail oriented because of that. So if you are someone who is by chance in the space to work with someone, you need to know that at some point you and that person have a different resources, have a different need, have a different belief, set of experience, and you need to know how to alchemize all of that into your way. How do you do that? There is a really slow way, but it's really practical. There is really swift way. So someone already alchemized an ideology and you just practically copy paste what they have, or just like use that ideology, even though like it's somewhere in some form, you don't have the ingredients to alchemize it that way. So something in between feels off. Why? Because you have yours. And what do you do with leftover ingredients? If it's still true in your universe, in your reality, it will stay on, it will stay there for forevermore until you realize, oh, this is actually something we can add into the things that we already have. But not so many people understand that, and I understand at some point you don't have the time, energy, or resources, which is you just don't have the experience itself, and you just copy paste other people, and eventually you, in the future, when you have an experience that somehow and somewhat can be alchemized into a new belief, a new ideology, when you DIY a new thing, you can alchemize it and you change it, you update your system by then. You can do that. But there is an awareness that this is not mine. I need to know, I need to be aware that at some point in time, there will be a misalignment somehow and somewhat. It works when I try it once. When I try it second time, doesn't work. That was my case. My first time trying, excellent, perfection, successful every single time. The next time I try it, I don't know what I do. What did I do? Why is it failing right now? I make some cookies, I follow the recipe, and then like first time, great. I follow it to the T. I don't have an experience. The next time I tried it, why is it failing? Did I miss something? Oh, I didn't put the ingredients. Oh, I didn't do this step. Oh, I didn't do this. Why? Because I feel I already got it. And then I'm starting to infiltrate the recipe with my shit. And then suddenly it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that well. So that's why I always say like DIY your own shit, because you will know where to update it, when to update it, and how you can update it or copy paste it. So I'm talking from a practical standpoint, and I'm saying it from a really, really logical base, because I'm very logical bitch, but everything around me is so illogical because the world works that way. It is unpredictable. It is full of surprises. It is in any point doesn't make any sense. It has so many ingredients, sensation, outcome that no matter what you do, it will always be that way. So can't really bother. So when you DIY yourself, there are time frame that you cannot bypass because sometimes you don't have the ingredients. So you need to wait. You need to be patient. You need to work with what you have. And where you are is not less complete. It's already complete as it is. You can use whatever you are having right now. But the leftover feelings, like it's not it. That was just the container. Like you have not fit the full container itself. Like you have a puzzle and it still fits. It's still like fit perfectly there, but it's not filling the space. So it feels like am I missing something? Because I'm still like swaying here and there, and I'm still like not perfectly in place. Why is this like this? Well, you will grow to the space you are belong with, but you need to wait. You need to be patient and all that stuff. Patient is trusting. So Cassie Howard is hosting a masterclass called Code of Trust, and that's why like the theme is more about trust. And I'm like, I'm really big in trust because I am at the space where I don't fucking care what happened in outside. I know at some point in time they will come together at its own time, even though it's a whole mess right now. Talking about the outside being a mess, I think like the alien that I saw in my dreams was a tall white because they are 2 meters high. Like they are almost like the ceiling. We found the word. So if you watch my past live stream, I like trying to grasp what is the name when we look up when we are going into bed and we just look up. It's not rooftop for sure. And I found out, oh, right, there was ceiling. What? Why did I forget this word? Why? And I'm like, can't really help it. Sometimes it happens, and that's the thing that we got. So that's partially it. But then the tall wide is weird because I have a body that belonged to them. I do remember part of myself as the plasma being. So plasma being doesn't have any body, and I used to be that type of beings. And which is like the builder of Earth. So when the Earth still moving on the space to build the momentum to be birth into a planet, I was one of the forces that actually helped this Earth coming into one coherent being. Earth is alive, and it's about to crack its surface. So if you guys are ready, please be ready for it, because places that is I don't know the word birth, no, setup, no, so a celebration date that is in the celebration date, or is this like in the water sign, it will sink. So every address on top of the world. So there are already numerous prediction around it. Okay, some cities on Earth will sink under the ocean because things change, and it's not global warming. I'm gonna just say it to you. Global warming is a hoax. It's a freaking messed up operation that people use, because what it does is actually build fear. And I'm like, yeah, I don't. I'm like questioning, like, why do you guys still talking about global warming and not really doing anything? You don't really decrease the necessity of oil, taking oil from Earth. You don't necessarily do anything. There's no news about forestation, and there is so many uncertainty around it, and we just being bombarded with this idea of global warming. And I'm like, global warming is not real. This hot air, it's not only, so the biggest factor is not because we use so many things that is corroding the air system. It's more of like the time has changed, and every other thing that is contributing to the change on Earth has accelerated so much that we can't help it. And then the Earth maneuvering itself and eventually cracking its core and birth something else, which is the destruction that we are about to get around like after 2030, because things will accelerate from there, and then bigger and bigger things will happen. I mean, like there's already, what do you call it? Like there's, I know the Indonesian word of it, gempa, but what is gempa in English? Let me see it. Earthquake. My goodness. So there are so many earthquakes already on Earth that's happening here and there, cracking here and there, and there will be like really what do you call it? Bigger than ever crack on the surface of Earth. So it doesn't need to be like on the land. It can be like under the ocean. But if it happened under the ocean, we're going to have a tsunami. And when that happen, it will coming across as the water line get higher as always, but it will not go down because the ice will also crack, adding water to the surface. That's what happened. But I don't know when. For record, so before my brother get married, we were visiting his not fiance, but just like soon to be wife family. And in one of the sitting in one of our dinners with our family only, me, my dad, my brother, and my mom said like, I want to live here in Java. And I'm like, I don't think you can. I don't know why I said it. It sounds so unfounded. Like there is no proof that she cannot stay there. But I just know there is no fucking way you're going to stay here, because there are so many other things that are going to happen in the future that you cannot stay here. Possibly because Jakarta is going to sink. Jakarta is not gonna last, to be honest. And I think like the government of Indonesia is doing a great work for moving the, oh my god, I forgot the word. Let me search for it. So English for ibu kota. Capital. Oh my god. For the capital is moving in Nusantara, and I'm like, they're doing pretty good job, because if Kalimantan, if Borneo, if the island that I'm in sink, it will be devastating, because everything else that is lower than the land will sink also. So like 80% of the world will sink. So if Kalimantan is sinking, it will be like 300, 400 years from now. And that will be so long. And they did a great job to move the capital to Nusantara, because it's near Samarinda. It's just like up in the map. So Nusantara is here, Samarinda is here, and then Balikpapan is here. That's the gist of it. And yeah, I talk about the I am important, right? Because in the work that I am, I have found that what I'm here for, what I'm standing here for, with what everything that I have, it has more nuance, it has more personal detail. And what I'm doing is not even like telling you like this is the belief that you need to hold. I am helping you create it. I'm helping you DIY that sense of foundational belief of yours, because so many other things that actually need to be setting it up for us are not working properly because how the world is so twisted nowadays, meaning that the parents, maybe they are not born with the great personality, experience, um, dreams, and therefore they are bring their twistedness into us. Or there are some things along our life events that causing us to twist our own belief. Like what I did. I enter the darkness, and then I have a sexual trauma, and then my body is fucked up, and then all of the system that can contribute to a better process is actually twisted so much that I can't help but to only create a really fucked up belief that happened. So the cleaning of that system is what I do. The making of that system is what I do. The implementation of the system is what I do. So it's a lot more deeper, it's closer to what psychology do. But I could not replace what they do because they have their connection and they are here with their own resources, way and detail in operation that I did not hold. I do not hold that. So I cannot replicate, I cannot replace what they do. But I'm here as an option, which is what I said to my people, is that I am not here to be someone you depend on. I want you to be depend on yourself. So I want you to graduate from me. Because that's what I did. I enter Lori led space. So she is a spiritual teacher and she talks a lot about ascension. I don't think like she talked about anything else besides that, but she's really big on that kind of area. So she has been interviewed with so many other famous influencer, the people on the internet, and she's great at it. She has created a book, but at one point I'm like, okay, I learned everything I need from this person, and staying longer in her space doesn't help me nor her. So I take myself out because I understand that I learned enough. So that's what I want for my people, including you who are watching, because I'm also like still thinking about what will I do? What will we do when the 1 year contract ended? Because this space is only for 1 year and I don't know what I will do next with it. Maybe I would post here and there, but I still am not sure if that's the right move. Or maybe like I would do something as a continuation. So probably I would still do this, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it. So there is so many other possibility, but I just like want to make sure that the options is available. And if you have something that you think you can do it this way, you can do it that way, let me know. Let me put it on the option and I will choose by the end of the year. So that's one of the things. And yeah. And I want people to graduate from me because no, I don't want you to depend on me. I need you to go create out there. If you need any more help, come into my space. But I want you to be ready to be off from my space, because this is not the space to be depend on. Because you are your own God, you are your own creator. Why would you need anyone else? Except it is possible that you are here literally need my energy. So in the creation of your thing, if you don't have me, it will not exist. I would love to participate in that. So that's one of the ways why I still need this type of individual. So it can be translated into your spouse, your kids, your pets, your family, because you cannot be here without them. But you certainly can cut yourself off the connection between you and theirs. You can cut it off. But if you know that at some point in time I still need their energy, you need to stay on. You still need to be connected. Yeah. Do we have anything else? I think like I said the I am important stuff very briefly, but I hope it's not too brief. It's like a complete section of a briefness. Do we have anything we want to say? Sometimes when I ask that question, my whole system may start to open up, just like how the chakra open. And then some beings enter my body, and I can feel their energy, and they are speaking, and they are spitting words, but I cannot see the umbrella topic of it. And I'm like, can we get like right into the topic? And I'm like, and then they repeat the first word that they just said. And I'm like, okay, we're not gonna do that. And apparently that's also how I write. I found like the baseline of the things that I want to write, and then like, okay, well, how do we start this? And then my mind's like, start with this word. Even though like that could be like not in the final draft. I'm just like, start with this. And the start, and then we just go on and on and on and about it. It's a fascinating way. You know what? Something about smiling. Like I have been in my mind lately about, can we just like not smiling so often? Because I smile fucking a lot since I found a way to eventually like use my face muscle to smile. And sometimes I fake smile, but it still look genuine because I learned it that way. Because at some point people cannot read my energy, and because I'm just so stoic, I'm just like not moving a shit of my face. Like I look like this 100% of the time. I don't smile, I don't flinch, I don't feel surprises, I don't move my shoulder like this. I don't do anything of that, but I'm become more expressive because I understand at some point, oh, actually, you cannot read me at all. I become so mysterious in your head because I'm an alien to you. So that's why I learned to be so expressive in my language, my body language, in my speech, in my expression, and it become much easier for people to understand what I'm actually thinking. But then they are underestimate me. So I still have that. I'm not mad with being underdog. To be honest, I'm having fun with it because you know the kind of times when someone underestimate you, and then the next time they see you, you shatter all that assumption. And I'm like, right, now you know. I was one time, so nobody in my family speak English. I learned it myself through movies. So I was watching too many movies when I was a child. I was watching HBO too much, and I was like still 5 to 6, which is not a good idea because the culture is different, the message is different, the rating is different. Sometimes I watch a really much older rating, but never mind. So something it's a lot more, I don't have the word for it, adult, and then there's horror, and there's like really thriller. And there, I still remember to this day one of the movies that I watched at the time was about the psychopath that was behind the bars, and psychology. Someone in that area was like valuing, understanding the psychopath, to know where the bodies were, the bodies at, and like one of the names is mm, not Scarlet. Scarlet was one of the names that I thought I would play with, but then I'm like, yeah, I'm not Scarlet because Scarlet is too sensual. Oh, that's the word, sensual movie. There was that part of the movie in the HBO. I forgot about it. Something about sacred, secret. Oh, secret, Seacrest. That password was in the psychopath movie. But yeah, so nobody in my family speak English, and I can speak it myself because I watched too many movies when I was a child. And I was fascinating with this nuance of the language. So I'm like, eventually fit me and English fit more than me and Bahasa Indonesia. So I'm becoming more Westerner than eventually the Indonesian in itself. So if you see me in real life, you would not expect me to be this way because I'm just like not the typical, not the traditional type of Indonesian. You kind of like sense it from how I behave, how I speak, and how I respond. And one time I was in high school. Oh, no, I was in middle school. I was presenting something, and it was an English lesson, and I was up on stage in front of the class, and I'm like I was explaining a map of a zoo. And I was just saying, okay, if you go here, you're going to see this. If you go here, you're going to see this. So if you turn the corner and you see the here and then here, the people in the class was just like, what? How? Because at the time, I don't speak. I was so, I was just an alien in the class. I just don't fucking speak to anyone. I have my own shit. I don't fucking care about this reality. I was just like so secluded, so private. No one out there knows what I'm thinking. That eventually, when I'm presenting the English, everyone was just jaw dropping because like, how is this girl can speak English like so well? And then I was like, I don't know. I just do. I don't learn it. I just know it. And that even harder for them because they don't know how I do it. But that's one of the things. Why did we talk about that? being underestimated. So I have a really fun time watching my classmate like having a jaw-dropping moment. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know you have this kind of talent. And then I was approached by one of my friends that is living near me here, and she become the longest friend I have. One of the longest friends I have. I have more, but it just like she approached me because she was fascinated that I can speak English so well. But yeah, it's not bad, but then it's not good when I want to be validated. I want to be like included. I want to belong. Because then there is a need to prove myself that I can do this. I can belong to this group of people. I was like, exactly. Try more. Great. I'm gonna try more and see how we fit. That's one of the things. My face is actually still imbalanced, but it's not as bad as we thought. And the massage on my legs works really well. So I'm doing that like pretty often now. Like I already did it 5 times, but I did as many things to eventually reverse back the muscle to where it belongs. And also like I don't eat meat very well because meat is the refresher of the muscle. So when you eat meat, you strengthen the muscle because the meat help you create more nerves, more flesh around the muscle that eventually let the muscle stay on. But I didn't have that, so we are still having to like go on massage it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. That is a technique. If you can do things again and again and again, it's really good. So I'm also like still trying to keep my promise, which is like before 4 p.m. I will need to finish all the recording. And this is one of it. So we failed today, but it is a lot faster than usual. So we will try it again tomorrow.